Hello there and welcome again from La Ronde. Almost 5 months since my last trip here, but I'm here for a specific reason on a really kind of rainy day here in the early part of October, but a very exciting time as I've never done their haunt event here before and I'm here for 2 days. So very exciting. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that the weather is not great and hopefully get on all the big rides here. Maybe look at all the preparations for the haunt itself as I've never seen it before. Festivaldelafrayeur, as it's called. And so Festival of Terror, I believe. And the famous red house, Maison Rouge, that is included as part of the scare mazes here in the event. Now, I don't know if they're going to actually have interior spaces and haunted houses as part of the festivities this year, so we'll definitely cover that. And I will give you a review of all the big rides today, as it looks like we'll at least hopefully be able to get onto them and maybe some re-rides before the festivities this evening. All right, we're back at La Ronde. It is a much sparser situation than when I was here to open the park almost 5.5 months ago. We'll see how busy it is today, however. I love you, La Ronde. Why you gotta give me a hard time every time I get into this park? Alright, so a little mini tripod that I have was misinterpreted as a selfie stick. I wouldn't dare bring a selfie stick into the park. I hate selfie sticks. Anyway, we're inside. It is still raining and it's coming in and out throughout the day. We're gonna go over to Vampire's side right now and get on it just because I can hear it running. And I've never rode it in the rain before, so it'll probably be pretty fast for this excellent B&M invert. The pair continues to sit next to a former attraction, La Poutine, with no development as to what's happening with this attraction that may hopefully open next year. Stay tuned. So as you can see, it is definitely raining still, which is fine because everything here is a walk-on right now. In fact, they've had to wait, especially for Vampire there, for full trains as much as they can. It's on a single train service. I've never been to La Ronde with it being this empty before, so I'm just gonna take advantage of the fact that I don't have to worry about my hair and that it's well empty, and I'll just troll around with my umbrella and get re-rides in. I've done 2 on Vampire. Interestingly enough, the branding for this ride, i.e. the Vampire sign, has not been up all season, so I have a nagging suspicion that this ride may get a completely different rebrand or title or new IP attached to it, potentially in the next season or so. The reason why there's some background noise here, I'm standing in this one area that has a cover, which is very few and far between here at this side of the park. But if you happen to be here on a day like I am, just over here, you probably won't be able to hear me, especially with the wind. It's another covered area here, but there's some vents up above, so if you want to get some dry, you want to get dried right next to Vampire, right next to these washrooms. Yeah, you got some vents to get yourself sort of dried off. I'm not too worried about it. I'm pretty wet already. I'm just gonna let it soak in and enjoy the re-rides that I can get today. It also doesn't look like Monster is running again for the second time this season for my trip here. Odd to have a Monster not running during a haunt event. Hopefully that might change. We're gonna get over there and find out exactly why in a moment here, okay. Off to the other side of the park, since I've done a ride already on Titan and 2 rides on Vampire. I don't think it's really going to be that busy later on either, just because of the way the rain is, and I've got 2 days to enjoy this event, so I'm going to take my time, get some great coverage here despite the conditions, but it could be worse. Really, I'm not going to complain because I always have been craving some time here to enjoy the attractions, and that's what I'm gonna get here today. So we're gonna go on the other side. I've covered Vampire a lot here, and yeah, we'll go enjoy Goliath and maybe some other attractions over on the other side. Yeah, Titan was just running so well. I really should take advantage of taking this mask off for a second. Well, there's security just there. It goes back on. They're pretty tight with the restrictions here as well, I should say. Despite the selfie stick incident, which I did not have. Yeah, you do need a passport vaccination to actually enter this park, unlike Canada's Wonderland, which I did only last weekend. The restrictions here are a little bit more stringent. So yes, you need to be double vaxxed. And that just makes me automatically think there's a good reason why the park is so empty right now as well. So we'll enjoy it for what it is. We're gonna go and look at some of the scare mazes that are starting to be set up on this side. Hopefully that means that we get some interior haunted house action, because I'm definitely missing that already this haunt season, early as it is. All right, let's go to the other side of the park and see what's over there. How do you know it's a slow day at Laronde? The poutine line behind me is empty in the middle of the afternoon. That never happens. I might get a poutine here today because of that. So stay tuned for a potential poutine at Laronde review. I may be soaking wet, but admittedly after a really unfortunate sort of day as far as crowd interactions are concerned at Wonderland recently, it is refreshing to be back at Laronde with some space to move and really just like to have only the people that are really serious about doing some rides here, the true lunatics about ride enjoyment. So we're gonna go to Dragon now. All right, so I just got my obligatory ride on Dragon behind me. Time to give it a full review, as that was a nice almost walk on. Because it's covered and it's raining, it's a bit busier than say the other attractions for obvious reasons. What a great ride, and the fact that everything on it is functioning. The biggest frustration I have with Thunder Run at Canada's Wonderland is that a lot of the effects on that ride have just been left to just not work anymore. Where the love and dedication to this ride, while it's not really anything special, just being a Vekoma family coaster, of some 30 years of age, despite that, every trigger effect that is meant to go off during the course of the ride actually works, which is fantastic. And I enjoy it every time I ride it. It is usually a pretty lengthy wait as well, but for what it is, I do not like the fact that, you know, there's so much build up and the sound and everything before you get on the ride really gets you in the mood. But just before you get on it, the queue doesn't have any decor leading into the station, which is a little bit underwhelming considering all the audio effects inside. But that said, if you're coming to La Ronde, you have to ride Dragon. So many times I've come to this park previously and I never rode it. And now every time I come here, it's a ride, no matter what. All right, well, we're gonna head over to Goliath now and we'll do a full review of that in the rain. Probably a couple of rides coming up on it, so I'll be able to give a thorough review of that as well. here. Second ride actually in the back seat. I'm going to try to go back on and get another ride in the front. But time for a thorough review, maybe without any music. Well, at least I hope so. Fantastic ride. Riding super fast in this slick condition as well. The trims, I think, barely had any effect on the ride itself. And wow, 9 airtime hills. I often compare this ride to Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland. I will say that the train is in far better shape than the ones at Wonderland this year on Behemoth. And overall, the ride is just running generally a lot smoother than I found that ride to be as well. Overall, it's just a simple B&M that I find very enjoyable and really no frills attached to it other than it being an airtime machine, which it definitely is, and probably the best in Canada for that. I love Goliath. It's a great ride. It was the best addition possible for this park at the time, and really, like those lateral Gs on the mid-course turnaround, the teardrop turnaround, really whips you out of your seat in the back there, going into the second half of the course. And those final two airtime hills that are undulated to be like high-speed turns midway through the actual airtime hill are probably one of the best elements on a B&M that I've ever experienced, at least on these standard B&Ms. It's a great ride. I still think it's probably better than Behemoth because of just the overall satisfying package it gives you every time. You don't have to worry about those trims ruining your ride, much like it does on Behemoth. Goliath's a great ride, one of the best roller coasters in Canada. Do not miss it if you get the chance to get down here, especially on a day like today where it is running just ridiculously fast and probably the best I've ridden it ever. It's not really raining anymore. I'm going back on. Obligatory ride on Ednor done, and a walk-on front seat ride. I also just got a walk-on front seat ride on Goliath just before this, so I over budgeted for this event because I'm here tomorrow as well and all night for both nights. So I'm gonna get a lot of rides in, probably a good fixing of laronde for me for quite some time, which is actually gonna make me happy because I'm gonna get everything I need. Probably gonna have a headache later on today, but so far everything's been pretty smooth. Even Ednor was running relatively smooth, and normally these rides, like, you know, everyone knows an SLC, they tend to make the head rattle somewhat. And this one is pretty notorious as well, the formerly known as Serial Thriller at Astroworld. Not so bad today though, actually running pretty well. And an enjoyable SLC for what it's worth. Like, can you really enjoy one of these knowing the ride layout so well? I'm not so sure. But that's Ednor done. I'll probably do a night ride. It'll probably be pretty impressive as a night ride later on. So stay tuned for that coming up. As you can see behind me, the couple of scare attractions are actually open already, so I'm gonna get my pass and start this up. The famous Maison Rouge right behind me. It's gonna be the first one I'm gonna do. It's actually called the Cirque Diabolique 3D this year. There's no filming inside, unfortunately. That's fair. Usually that's the case with these theme park-based haunted houses. But they're haunted houses. We can go inside. So we're going to get a real, actual thrill component. So I'm going to go and get into the Cirque Diabolique 3D, and I'm going to give my impressions on the way out. I've been waiting for this haunted house probably since the beginning of scare attractions being announced in Canada. So this is kind of a big deal.
Ça valait encore 200$, 250$ à l'époque, 60$. Ah, ouais, je t'avais dit que la vendre en bon. Ouais.
Désolé, je l'ai pas.
Merci. Ça valait encore 200$, 250$ à l'époque, 60$.
Sur lequel j'ai greffé moi-même de la peau humaine. Si elle vous fait une caresse, elle va par trop d'amour, hein? Mais vous en avez rien à faire de vos yeux, je peux les arracher. C'est quoi, je parle pas à toi, je parle pas à toi. C'est pas à toi que je parle, c'est à elle. Ouais, mais c'est pas à toi que je parle, c'est à elle. Ta cousine est capable de parler pour elle-même. Salut! Annick! Marié de
My bride over here.
Ah, c'est ça, man. C'est pas moi.
Very fashion
C'est ça, man.
bride.
Parce que c'est moi qui l'ai fabriqué. Parce que c'est pas ta mari, c'est
Mais non, on a ici un chef-d'œuvre de robotique et de plastomanie. Pas de bon mot, c'est pas grave. Écoute, là, c'est trop. Lui, ici, le neurochirurgien. Oh! Victor! Elisabeth? On revient. On va aller se faire ce qui nous tente.
Victor.
Toi, tu trouves Victor cute? Tu trouves Victor cute? Pourquoi?
Mais je sais pas, mais ça fait des années qu'elle vient, puis vous l'avez tout monté Madame,
Non, mais bien sûr. Non, mais bien sûr. Est-ce que c'est son côté fauve qui vient vous chercher dans les entrailles ou c'est son corps d'homme?
mais il est grand.
Ouais, il est grand. J'ai choisi un spécimen rare d'homme grand. Vous savez pourquoi? Cette tête-là, je l'ai transplantée sur plusieurs corps. Le corps virait fou. Hein? À la grosseur du fauve, faut que le sang circule. C'est comme ça. Faut que le sang circule.
like almost like Hellraiser has taken over a section on the Ronde here. I'm being watched. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. They don't appreciate my commentary and my comparison there. I don't know what we're going to do in there, but it's happening. I think it's a show. Say okay. Whoa! I'm cornered, I'm cornered!
On me lance dessus, je revole. Attends, j'ai pas pris mon téléphone.
Hello. Bonsoir. Ooh. Oh, hello. You have a heart. Going in. Oh. Bonsoir, monsieur.
How? Hi. Okay, nice.
Bonsoir.
C'est vrai, malade.
Ouh, regarde.
Tu vas avoir fucking nice.
On y va, gars.
Yeah, for you. You can go. This is really good.
What is happening?
What's cooking?
Non, 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 c'est ça, etc. Attends.
That car has seen better days. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, we are in trouble.
Are you single? Vous êtes célibataire? Ah! Vous êtes célibataire? Ah!
Sont tous
Pour la gloire de Satan, Santo Satana!
Merci d'en venir c'est pas vous de ce personnel-là. C'est porté un effrayant festival de la frayeur.
Il ne doit pas avoir peur, petit homme. Il est engagé dans les armées de Satan. Je ne connais pas ce Jason.
Mask is purple.
It's like the color.
Attention, je cherche les libellules.
OK, pour ça, dans le manège, nous avons un problème mécanique dans le manège. Donc, déjà, nous demander de sortir, mais vous pouvez la sortir
Welcome to the Festival de la Frayeur 2021 at La Ronde. Now, this has been an interesting day because these haunts are actually open throughout most of the day, and then the scare mazes or scare zones, I can pull this off for 1 second for the benefit of audio, is they open at 5:30 to 6:30 generally. There are 2 scare zones officially, actually 3 kind of, and I say that because 2 of them are more of live presentations. I consider 2 of the areas live presentations and 2 of them actual scare zones. And then in addition to that, you have 4 haunted houses that are actual haunted houses. Try to see if you can see me now. I've done them all. I've already done everything. It's so sparse in the park today. Unfortunately because of rain earlier, but now the rain is completely let up and now we just have an empty park almost to enjoy lots of night rides. And unfortunately I won't be doing any more of the haunted houses, although that is already covered in this video for you, mainly because of the fact the haunted houses are an upcharge here. So you're gonna spend about $27.80, I believe it was $27.87 with tax to get access to all 4 haunted houses. You could actually buy an individual ticket for one if you just want to do one, like the infamous Maison Rouge, which is now called the Maison Diabolique 3D. It's a hard one, isn't it? Even in French. I would say that that was my least favorite of the haunted houses. As we go through this tour and I recap what I've done for the day, Boomerang is right behind me, which I'm actually going to go on right now because I haven't been on it yet. Le Boomerang is appearing. There it is, Le Boom. As I go past the scare zones, I might go into some of them again, but I'll recap the haunted houses and give you my impressions of them, including La Maison Rouge, and other ones that were actually a lot better than the one that this park is most well known for. But first, I'm going to give a ride on this here Vekoma Boomerang in the night. It's been quite a while since I've had a night ride on one of those. Okay, got off a Boomerang there. It's always been a bit of a rough ride, especially going into the loop or exiting the loop. Definitely felt some rough vibrations to the chassis of the car. So that's my first head rattle of the day. But that being said, night ride wasn't so bad. I'll take it. We're gonna go on Chaos next. It's a walk on. So let's go. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of rides that I'm going to be able to get in, so I'm just going to keep cracking at this. Looking forward to those night rides, however, on Goliath and Vampire, more than you know. Having just gotten off of Chaos, I'm going to restate what I said earlier about this ride. It's really a solid flat ride for this park. Enjoyed it a lot. Didn't really think that when it was announced as a new attraction here, but it's actually fit in rather well. And yeah, it's excellent at night, especially when you get kind of like that solo ride going like I had just a second ago. Oh, I'm debating whether or not to go on Manitou right now. I'm here. I feel like I'll give it a pass for now, because it's not like the craziest of rides anyway. It's not something that I necessarily need to spend most of my night making sure I get. I want to get on things that I didn't do last time, like Demon, which is a good idea, and also the pirate ship, just because I haven't done it. But for now, as I make my way to that side of the park, and by the infamous area where Vipère is supposed to be, enjoy the atmosphere of Festivaldelafrayeur. Okay, Toboggan Nordique is done for yet another obligatory ride, and yeah, one of the smoother, I don't know if that's technically a wild mouse, it's technically a toboggan ride, but it is smooth for one of those designs, I'm gonna have to say. Amongst the smoothest that I've encountered of that particular coaster model. We're now gonna go to some of the bigger hitters now. we're gonna go down this here corridor behind me, and we're gonna go check out Vampire and Titan night rides. Probably gonna do a couple of those. I think that the atmosphere is better going down this main drag, so we're gonna just give you that before we get to that side.
Oh, messieurs! Non pas ma voix, mais bien mes créatures. Dépêche-toi. Parce qu'on a juste, moi c'est pas si pire, mais c'est des créatures qui ont pas beaucoup de patience. C'est ça.
T'as pas demandé pour toi, lui? Ah. Ouais, mais toi, on voit que ton gel.
C'est vous, là?
Oh, the visitor. The king is not happy with me looking at their thrones. Oh, they're all returning. Okay, so what you just saw there was l'enfer des demons, or de démons. I guess it's a collection of demons. We've seen them, they're getting tired of seeing me because I've been in there like 3 to 4 times already tonight. Fantastic presentation of what I believe is somebody from the audience being ordained as a demon. As you can see, there's lots of great atmospherics in this park. This isn't the biggest scare event going, but for what they do, oh hello, it is my friend again. Still problems with their ragdoll. Still problems. Oh, they have a new toy with a new problem. This child has had issues all day, and I'm gonna just let them walk away. So as I was saying, similar to l'enfer des demons, the interaction with the actors here is great. In fact, I'm gonna say, while this isn't the greatest scare event as far as haunted houses and mazes are concerned, although 3 of the mazes here are actually exceptional, and the most famous one has actually been underwhelming. The actors here are just tremendous. They're really into what they're doing, but it's also, from what I've found out from a friend who has just joined me for the earlier part of this trip here, or this day, they come back every year and they carry stories and names with them. I know they do that at Wonderland Haunt, but there seems to be a lot more substance behind the stories behind these characters, rather than being traditional tropes of just demons and vampires and that kind of stuff. Also kind of cool, every Midway ride doesn't have standard music, as Laronde loves to bust out the Bieber and all that here. Not during their haunt event, as if you can tell the music is complete takeover, and every ride seems to feel like it's its own little haunted house because of that crazy dramatic audio that you hear going on in the background. So if you're going through a queue, you really think like that something might jump out of you in the queue lines. There's not many today. But I have a feeling that that's quite a possibility on days when it's busier, because everyone's really interacting with you here, even if they've seen you a couple of times like they have me. Super loud, right? Titan. What a fantastic ride. I'm gonna go on it for my first ever night ride right now. Okay, that was 3 night rides here on Vampire. 1 in the front, 2 in the back, and they're okay with re-rides with it being that not busy today. We don't get many coasters here in this country. We're lucky enough to have one of these original B&M inverts. Yes, it's a Batman clone. Yes, it's ubiquitous, but it may be the best running roller coaster in Canada right now. If you're looking for relentless intensity and G-forces, this is your ride, because it is running unbelievably. The laterals on this ride right now are just like out of order. I'm just speechless about how good it is. It may creep into my top of my Canadian coaster list now with how great it's riding. I just had nothing more to say than unbelievable. Vampire, it's just non-stop for that relentless 40 seconds. It really is just probably one of the fastest running Batman clones I think out there, if not the fastest, because yeah, it is running like a peach. I didn't get on Titan earlier. Unfortunately, it's been closed down, but it's now testing again. So I'm gonna go do Orbit, because I did see it open up, but now it probably is down too. I might get on one of these rides. I'm here tomorrow, so it's not the end of the world, but I wouldn't mind getting on that Titan, my favorite flat in Canada, before the night is through, if there's a possibility. If not, it's not the biggest deal. I think they're switching crews around because it is so quiet here, as you can see. Should do the disco, but the disco is like, you know, I know, we're just gonna take this as we go and see what we can get on. I think Orbit is still open. Indeed it is, so I've never done it in the night before, so this will be the first. Oh no! I gotta get the... Oh, that's my leg! I better get out of here. Are there any others?
On va faire le parcours!
Well, on that note, how about I sum up some of the scare attractions as I've enjoyed and continue to enjoy. My friend is here again, another friend, mes amis. You gotta keep your eye out because they could come out of anywhere. It's my friend again. I gotta scurry by quickly. I'm gonna get attacked. I'm gonna see them tomorrow. Oh, they'll be waiting for me, I guarantee. So, again, gotta say, huge compliments to the talent at this event. I really I got some big ones coming up at the end of this month that are notorious for being among the best for actors, but so far, outside of the stuff that I experienced, maybe say in Japan, the actors here have been the best I've seen. The best I've interacted with at any event like this ever. Decor, certain sections, the scare mazes, I'm out of breath now because I'm trying to get to certain things before time runs out. There's about 40 minutes left to get my night rides on Goliath after my vampire run there. And unfortunately, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get onto Titan. I'm digressing. Back to the scare mazes. The Farm of Terror that I just left behind there and was covered earlier, we did go back and do it again. I'm a little nervous that I'm being followed by some talent, but I'm not. Just security, that's fine. God, it's so dead here, as you can see. Like I said, the decor and the atmospherics are just amazing. The actors have been amazing. The Farm of Terror, which yes, I did go back and actually pay an extra $10 to do it at night. The attendants actually had set it up for me to do at 8 p.m., which I kind of wish I did do. But since I had company in the mazes, we kind of did all the mazes early on really fast. And then said, yeah, because that one was outside, they really didn't do it justice unless we went back and did it again in the night. And it was unbelievable, I will say. For such a small space of land for where they have it rammed in, the features, the fact that they've used a lot of their storage items as part of the decor for that particular maze, it was just excellent. And a ton of actors. It was that farm scarecrow theme that they're playing off of, which I definitely enjoyed and many haunts have done. But that particular one, it's hard to say and really hard to conceptualize unless you actually try it. But we're talking like a lot of chicken coops that are just lit in certain ways, and they have obviously dismembered people and dismembered chickens and scarecrows that come to life out of the trees, haunted cows, yes, haunted cows, a haunted fountain. You have to see it to believe it. Really, just overall, it was the best maze without question at this event. Now, here's Pirate. I gotta get on this thing, but I don't think it's gonna happen today because I'm gonna prioritize. I'm gonna get on Demon because I haven't been on it yet this year. And then I'm gonna go and do Goliath to end my day. Although that being said, we got enough time. We're gonna do, I don't exactly know what that section is called. It's kind of like I call it like Hellraiser's fashion show more than a disco, because they're kind of just showing off their leather. A bunch of demons. Speaking of demons, we're gonna go on this here ride, which is fairly well known as Demon. Just finished that ride on Demon. It is now time for my final rides of the day. The rides do close at 10. Makes perfect sense on a day like today. I did suggest earlier that they should reopen this tower and put people inside along with some of the zombies / scare actors and just put them upstairs and trap them up there for a couple of minutes. Wouldn't that be a cool, I think that'd be a rather original type of haunted house. Like an actual ride with a scare actor involved itself would be kind of cool. I'm not so sure that tower is offerable anymore as it's been down for a couple of years and the sponsorship from Pizza Pizza is long gone as well. Okay, we're gonna go back, pass through, I know I keep missing these haunts reviews, but we're now at the nucleus of the last 3 haunted houses plus another scare zone, which you saw earlier, and that I will cover at the end of today's video. She can't really see me anyway right now. I will say one thing as I do pass Maison or the Cirque Diabolique 3D. The building itself, I will admit, is somewhat deceptive, as it doesn't seem as big on the outside as it is actually on the inside. It is a maze in there, and it's because it's 3D and they have all that glow-in-the-dark paint in there. It's clowns gone wild, clowns everywhere, clowns gone crazy, all sorts of clown tropes that are played off of in that particular maze. Very disorientating with trying to get through with all the splatter paint. Creates various dimensions to the walls that feel like they're floating and moving, which is probably the most impressive thing about that maze, I would say. The clowns were super active and great. I just didn't find it all that frightening for some reason. Maybe it was the claustrophobia of the space itself. I'm not really sure what it is, but I just didn't, it didn't hit me as effectively as, say, the other 2 mazes that are just behind me here or beyond those swings, which I'll mention after I get off of this here night ride that I'm just queuing up for, which is, of course, Goliath. We're gonna end our night probably with 2, maybe 3 rides if we can fit them in. And then I'll wrap up my review of those other 2 haunted houses and the day overall here. Day 1 at Festivaldelafrayeur. Okay, a lot to sum up as the last train of the day. Goliath. I'm trying to pronounce it the way it's pronounced here, but Goliath. What a solid B&M non-hyper that this ride is. And oh, that night ride was definitely worth the wait. The first time I've had in quite a long time that the entire train actually clapped at the end of that ride. Yeah, it's the end of the day, and that's maybe a sum up of the day because it has been a fantastic day. Because wow, made new friends, got tons of rides in, 5 on Vampire, including 2 at night, front and back. Actually 3 at night. Yeah, 3 at night, front and back. And then 2 night rides in the back of this here Goliath. I would say that's all that's really needed. I don't know if the front is my bag of tea on this ride. I'd say it's probably better in the back for myself because of that relentless speed that you get, especially when you're going through those whippy elements towards the second half. It was running a bit slower than it was earlier today, probably due to the rain, but I'm forgiving of that. It's been a fantastic day. Probably one of the best days I've had at La Ronde ever. Scare event wise, I did say that I had to sum up a couple of things, which I'm gonna do right now on my way out, as they do like to get you out of here really quick. District 510. What a fantastic scare maze. That was more of a maze. Another one of these like science research projects gone wrong. Military angle behind it. A lot of weird compartments and hallways and strobing lights. It was good. I just enjoyed the interactivity with the actors in that particular scare maze, and it was long. It didn't seem to be going anywhere in a good way. Cauchemars, which is right behind us here, which means nightmares in French, really is another kind of playing on phobias. If you've seen my 13 levels of fear review, it's kind of like insomnia from that particular event. We're gonna go through one last scare zone, which is Camp de Zombies, to end our night. I would say Camp des Zombies, including one here. Hello, sir. Hello. Oh! I think we'll let him find some food. We can't get past these guys. They're blocking the way now. Oh, we got a problem. Oh, let's not be shy now. Oh, they won't let us pass. None shall pass. It's not a zombie, that's a staffer. Oh, we found the other half. Problematic. So our friends are saying it's the end of the night and we're saying goodbye. Ah! God, he came out of nowhere. We'll be seeing all these folks tomorrow. They're grilling for the night. A nice meal. Really enjoy this particular scare zone, as it's very atmospheric, as I was trying to capture earlier. Okay, they want us out. They want us out. Goodbye, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Or will we? There's no way for me to cover everything that was fantastic about Cauchemars, but one thing I do need to mention is that final sequence before you actually leave the scares or the actual haunted house. I don't want to spoil anything, but I've never seen anything like that particular set piece. It was brilliant. And one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of the haunted houses here so far is that the final room seems to be lacking a big scare. I don't know if it's because it's just a slower day and the actors are kind of off from that particular room. That doesn't make any sense. But I did notice that in Diabolique and in District 510 and in the farm on the other side of town here, the final room seemed to be missing an actor. Cauchemars, there's no actor in that particular sequence. I don't want to give it away. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow when we do these all over again. But that particular, at the ending to that haunted house was fantastic. Let's just say there's no escape. It literally takes what could be a nightmare and realizes it so vividly in a way that it was a very simple idea and it was so well executed. I know I'm teasing here, but I really do want, if you do have the opportunity to come to this event and experience it for yourself. A lot of the people that I talked with today have emphasized that this event changes every year. They don't just keep cranking out the same haunted house every year. They actually spend the time to keep and going. These groans And these things are triggered for you to go by. So like in the Goliath lineup, or Goliath, I can't even say it. But in that particular line, there's a big audio scare that triggers every time you walk through that queue line. Small touches that have made this event unique among the others that I've liked. Uniquely Quebecois, I would say. Uniquely passionate, and you can tell it's been running for quite a long time. It's not the most immersive scare event that I've been to. I'm sure that a particular one that I'll be going to later this month will probably take the cake for that. Nor is it even close to, say, Kings Island's Halloween event, which is still like one of my favorites, if not my favorite, still to this point. The lighting, like say in this section, as you can see, not so great over here, but there are areas of the park that when the smoke gets going is very impressive. Again, unfortunately not on the par of Wonderland or any of the Cedar Fair offerings, let's say, but excellent to say the least. For what is a smaller park with a smaller budget compared to some of the bigger parks like Universal Studios and Disney, you're getting a great offering here. And really, like, it's not that bad of a value considering that the scare zones don't actually cost anything. It's only the haunted houses. So if you don't want anything too intense and you don't want to commit the money to it, you don't have to. You could just come into the park and just observe people as they go. I didn't cover Demon. What a wonky ride that is. It gave me a real blood rush to the head at the end, just before going on Goliath for those final two rides. But I can't think of a better way to finish the day than those final two rides on Goliath. As we get out of here, okay, so we're out of the park, obviously. It's not much different than it has been most of the day. Pretty slow. In fact, it seemed like there was no one left in there except for a handful of people by the end. So I do need to emphasize that if you've never been to La Ronde before, if you're going to come for one time only, I would strongly consider this event. Especially because if it were, say, a busier day, I feel like the majority of the traffic still would come at the second half of the day because of the fact that most of the scare mazes and haunted houses are more effective at that time, and some of them don't even open up until 5:30, 6:30 anyway. That being said, you're going to get all the rides you want in during the day generally, and then you're also going to get night rides, which are really a pretty rare experience at this park in particular, given its hours. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of that, because I personally hadn't been on a night ride on any of the attractions here before. Not anymore. I've now gotten night rides on everything because it was that slow. So not the greatest thing for the park to be slow, and I'm sure this is not a regular occurrence. I'm sure it would be much more vibrant as well with the haunts and the scares and that. But that being said, the actors didn't really seem that deterred by how slow it was today, and we're really kind of into it, as you've seen with some of the engagements that I had there and some of the interactions. I'm not going to cover everything that I could possibly say about all these mazes and scare attractions that are available here, nor am I going to say everything that I need to say about Vampire or Goliath, as I'm still trying to pronounce it, and many other attractions. But the fortunate thing is I got another whole day here tomorrow anyway, so I'm sure I'll cover what I didn't today in tomorrow's vlog. But I hope you enjoyed it. This is probably a very immersive experience without having edited it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very long vlog for you to enjoy, hopefully encapsulating everything about Festivaldelafrayeur that we could capture. An amazing event. Not the best one in Canada, unfortunately, but for other aspects, among the best anyway, as far as like the actors and just the overall concepts of some of the houses and stuff were really kind of intuitive and imaginative, and the natures of the scares in some of the rooms and that were really excellent in certain parts or certain portions of the haunted houses. All right, I'm gassed. I didn't even think I'd actually make it the whole day, but I did. I'm gonna get some sleep and some rest for tomorrow's vlog. Thank you for watching, guys. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you like what you see, there's a lot more coming this month if you're into haunts. It's an exciting time on the channel, and I can't wait to share with you even more adventures beyond just here at La Ronde. But for now, that's signing off from La Ronde. Always enjoy.